Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to Wild Wiles Sports.
Here we are.
So there's a lot going on in W right now. There's a lot of games today. There's been a lot of games this week. But today we are going to take some time to dive into our WNBA
Hot takes.
hot takes. And we have not heard each other's.
No.
So this is exciting. And you want to jump right in?
Jump right in. Give me your first hot take.
My first hot take is that if I was a WNBA coach, I would rather have Paige Beckers on my team than Caitlin Clark.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right.
So here's how I figure that. I know that's a crazy thing to say to some. Some might think that's crazy. And
You
I
might get hate mail.
maybe I think,
You might need security.
yeah. Listen, Caitlin, most of her stats are better. 18.5 points career compared to Paige's 18.2. 5.5 rebounds compared to 4.0, 8.5 assists compared to 5.5 assists. She looks like the better player so far, but then I look at turnovers. I see that Paige averages 2.2 turnovers per game. Caitlin averages 5.5 turnovers per game career
Leading the league this year
this year.
in
Yeah.
in terms. Okay.
And
I
she,
can't argue with you. Because my hot take, and I don't know, do you want to say more about that hot take, or do you want me to share my hot take that is directly related to yours? We did
did not
not.
plan that. But okay, so for my hot take, there's the turnovers, and then it's also that Caitlin, her first season, her rookie season, her average three-pointer was 28.09 feet away, and the three-point line is 22 feet. I understand that is exciting, and she makes them. I would have a hard time being a coach and telling her, yeah, go ahead and shoot those.
Mhm.
And so I think, Paige, she does not typically shoot from that far. She has a better mid-range game. I, as a coach, would prefer to coach a player like that.
Mhm.
And she also had 6 technical fouls last season. Caitlin did. I like a player with a little bit more composure.
Composure. Yes.
Okay, now
Yes.
tell me your hot take that
Okay.
relates.
I have a hot take that is very much related. It's just titled a little bit differently.
Okay.
My hot take is that Paige Becker should be the most famous basketball player in the world right now, rather than and I don't want to pit anybody against each other, but I mean, we all know who is the most famous, most recognizable player in the world, male, female, it doesn't matter. Um, and without taking the things that you mentioned are exactly the things that I would say about why. And if we also look back, so I did a little research as I was thinking about this, because like, what's going on? Why is Paige not like the same kind of phenomenon that Caitlin is? And I thought, well, okay, so a lot of things in the W, I'm going to go ahead and say it. They come down to race. So we got two white girls here. So it's not that. Although, and this is where it gets a little, we'll see. Both of them have publicly like addressed the fact that this woman was built by Black women.
This league, yeah.
Or this league, sorry, this league was built by Black women.
Yeah.
Both of them have said that in public forums, and both of them have uh, acknowledged the privilege that they have as white women. Um, Paige does that more, I
Yeah.
think. I think Paige has done that in an SB speech. Paige has done that in multiple platforms.
Yeah.
And I think that makes people uncomfortable. Like she is very outspoken about her social justice awareness.
Mhm.
And that don't play well with some of the newer fans to the W. So I think that's a contributing factor. I think Paige was a household name before she even went to UConn.
This is true.
He was a YouTube, or whatever, all the socials. Her stuff in high school was getting attention from NBA players,
Mhm.
and she had a couple of injuries, but as a college freshman, when she's the AP Player of the Year, when she's all these things, and then wins championships, and then is now
Championship. Same.
yeah, okay, yeah. She won a championship. But also, in high school stuff. But it's still uh I'm I am perplexed. And so I don't live in this like it's got to be either or kind of reality. It doesn't, we can have both. Great, wonderful. But I think that Paige is outspoken. Um awareness around issues regarding race. And I think Paige's identity. Paige has, even before she's kind of come out as lesbian in recent, I mean, I guess she hasn't said those things, but she is in a relationship with another woman. Um, but her style has never been conventional. She's done a little bit of the, she kind of plays with clothing. And so what you told me, one of her nicknames,
Uncty.
yeah, because like people say you dress like an uncle, and she's like, well, no, I'm more like an auntie, whatever. So I don't really know all of that, but
Yeah.
I think some of her it's less palatable for middle America. I said it.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. And there's probably some truth in it. I am gonna push back. I do disagree that she should be more famous or more popular because, and I'm not saying that none of Caitlin Clark's fame is because she's, your typical straight white girl from Iowa.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of Caitlin Clark's fame has to do with her path. Paige Beckers took a path that we've seen before.
Mhm.
We've seen the top recruit in the country, or one of the top recruits, go to UConn, win a championship, be the top pick in the draft.
Well, Caitlin didn't get to go to Utah.
Caitlin could have went to Notre Dame,
Okay.
which is also a really good school that has a lot of WNBA players from it.
Yep, yep.
So she took an unconventional path. She stayed home. She didn't go to a blue blood that's won multiple national championships. She brought her home state all the way to the championship game.
Mhm.
I think that's why a lot of people fell in love with her. And like I was saying, they play the game differently.
Yes.
And I wouldn't want to coach Caitlin,
No.
but I love to watch Caitlin.
100%.
I love
Yes.
to watch
Big
the
fan.
logo
Big
bombs.
fan.
We're big fans, obviously, but I love to watch the logo bombs, and so do most people. Like I think her game is. I don't think it's as pure as Paige Becker's game, meaning like the mid-range game and the few turnovers. But I think it's more captivating,
Okay.
and that's where I think her fame comes from. But I'm not. Now they both have white privilege, obviously, but I'm not saying that Caitlyn being white hasn't contributed to her fame at all. Of course it has, but I'm just saying that I think the way she plays and the path she took to get here is a big part of it.
I would agree with that as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to give a second take?
A second take. Well, since we're talking about blue blood players, blue
Mhm.
blood schools, UConn, I don't know how hot a take this is, but it is something that I firmly believe with every fiber of my being. The greatest player of all time is Diana Taurasi. There is no way around it. Her contributions to the game, talk about somebody who should be the most famous person in the world.
Mhm.
That would be Diana Taurasi, who maintained a level of play over 20 years,
Mhm.
playing elite minutes
Yep.
in her 40s. That's incredible in and of itself. But just watch some highlight reels. She invented this stuff. She's Kobe said it. She's the white mamba. I mean, this is the greatest of all time. And everybody else just has to try to catch up and talk about a character and talk about the flair and all of the theatrics. She is the pinnacle of what we've seen. Now there's others. Is a very but she's the GOAT.
You know, I would have to agree that she's the GOAT. I think it's why are you shocked? I've always like I was growing up, you were putting Diana Taurasi highlights on the TV.
Yes, that's
Like
true.
I would agree that she is. I like to say, oh, she's a GOAT. She's a GOAT. I
No.
call a lot of people the greatest of all time. We use that lightly,
Mhm.
but Diana Taurasi is the GOAT
Yes.
currently.
Yes.
I think I would really be surprised if in 20 years we still consider her the GOAT. I just think, there's going to be too many more games played, and the players now are so talented that I wouldn't be surprised if in 20 years we talked about somebody else being the GOAT,
Mhm.
but currently she is the greatest to ever play.
And a very and I don't want to even rank it. I would also put in her realm, but the thing is, she didn't have the same staying power. She didn't last as long. Candace Parker
Candace Parker and Maya Moore.
and Maya Moore.
I would say
Yes,
top three right
top
there.
three right there. That's
Yeah.
that's my all NBA or all WNBA team. Those three.
If we let's Mount Rushmore, and we just
Yes.
see one more, I'd probably throw up Sue Bird on my Mount. You want to put Sue Bird on your Mount Rushmore? All right.
Okay. I'll have to think about it, but
Well, okay. I'll go on to my second take. My second hot WNBA take is that the Golden State Valkyries will go to the finals within 5 years.
okay.
I think so because I mean they're 11 and 13 so far, which is much better than
Yes.
expected. And they only have one All-Star, and they're 11 and 13.
That's pretty impressive.
That's
What
pretty
do you
impressive.
think that's about? What has contributed to their success?
I mean, I think Natalie Nakase is a great coach.
Mhm.
Obviously, she was the WNBA Coach of the Month in June.
Mhm.
What I think is really interesting about this team is that they lead the league in three-pointers attempted. They're last in the league in three-point percentage. So my thought process here is that they have a good offensive system. They're getting most of them are good shots. They just don't have the roster right now to have a lot of really good, consistent three-point shooters. But I think that will come. They'll get a good pick in the draft. They'll
Mhm.
get some good draft picks with free agency, with the CBA, being up. I think they'll get a lot of good free agents interested in them, especially with their fans and the sellout crowds. Who wouldn't want to
They
go be
already
there?
have sellout crowds.
Yeah.
They're already valued at $500 million as a franchise.
So if I'm a player and I'm up for a free agency, I would definitely consider Golden State.
For sure.
So I think they have a good offensive system. They have a great coach. And once they get some more star power on their roster, I think I don't see any reason why they couldn't go to the finals within 5 years.
Okay, mark it down. Put
You
a
heard it here first.
Yep, absolutely. All right, my third hot take is that the WNBA is full of left-handed magic.
Ooh.
There are so many, let me get my list here. There are so many good shooters who are lefties. Let's see.
Is Kayla McBride lefty?
No.
No. Okay.
But she is a little bit ambidextrous, but hold on. I got my list.
There's somebody on the
Asia
list.
Wilson is a lefty.
Okay.
Alyssa Thomas, Chelsea Gray,
Mm-hmm.
Dewana Bonner,
Mm-hmm.
Paige Beckers, Skylar Diggins Smith. That's all I have on my confirmed list. But when you see a lefty, watch out.
Mm-hmm.
It must be harder to guard. I don't really know what it is. And then, it's only 10% of the population, but there's a lot of lefties if you start watching, and noticing like, wow, that's good shooting with the left hand. 10% of the population, I bet it's more than 10% of the league.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think, it doesn't surprise me when lefties do well in little kid leagues because no one's expecting you to be left-handed, but that is surprising to me that because You scout in the WNBA. You know
You know
which
who's
way
lefty. Yeah.
which way they want to go. So that's really interesting.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, did I say Kelsey Plum?
Oh,
She's a lefty.
yeah. Okay.
All-time leading scorer in the NCAA until recently. When
Mhm.
yeah, so she can really shoot it.
All right, my third and final take. Alyssa Thomas is underrated for the season that she has been having.
100% yes.
Mhm.
100%
So
yes.
she has 15.7 points per game,
And a lefty.
8.0 rebounds per game, which is in the top 10 in the WNBA, and 9.4 assists per game, leading the league.
Practically a triple-double.
Practically.
Practically a double-double.
And so she hasn't made a single three-pointer this season,
Well,
which is
it's like she's a waiter.
she has an interesting shot form, which has come from her
It's right
school
here.
third grade.
It comes from right here. And it just kind of goes up like, I'm done being a waiter.
But she
Throw me
shoots
the thing. Get rid of this.
52.7% from the field,
Holy cow.
which is
Yeah.
really good.
And the Mercury are a team to watch. I feel like they could do some real damage this year. They're a sleeper team for
Now,
finals.
I'm not saying that this is an MVP season. However, I do think we have a bad habit in the WNBA of deciding who is going to be the MVP in week one.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to be Nafisa Collier? Yes. But we've all been saying that since the beginning of the season. And I'm just saying, other people are having great seasons too.
Right.
This race is not over. And so keep an open mind and keep your eyes on Alyssa Thomas. And I don't know. All I know is that if I was in the WNBA, I wouldn't want to be in her way. I would not want to be between her and the
No,
basket.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, so let us know in the comments if you agreed with our takes and who had the spicier takes.
All right.
All
That
right.
was hot takes
We'll see you next
on Wild
time.
Wiles Sports.
Wild Wiles Sports.